Hello, once again we're playing Sherlock Holmes The Awakened. We're at the end of chapter 6 and we're headed towards chapter 7. Short recap.
Free me festering soul and let me feel. Free me festering soul and let me feel. Eyes without purpose and now see the truth. Tear me mind from me.
Bon Dieu! Still among the living.
We are, though not for lack of trying by the sheriff.
Well, he'd been telling people you died in the swamp despite his trying to save you. Crooked man. Through and through. Wait, is that Mr. Arneson?
Yes, but he's not well. Do you know Lucy?
Belle from the Nymph? That I do.
Please bring her here. Mr. Arneson needs to see a familiar face if he's to have any chance of surviving.
Power of the heart. I get you. Wait here.
Errol? Oh, Errol!
Reckon we should give him space. Farewells are painful.
No, tell me that's not true.
Watson?
Mr. Arneson has endured a lot. Lost 4 fingers, a lot of blood, and some of his sanity. But with rest and tender care, he...
Who's there?
Who do you think?
Let it be known that I'm handy with this revolver.
Nonsense, Dr. Watson. As I understand it, when faced with the imperative to defend oneself, one's comrades, and one's nation, you fled.
I...
Aren't you going to introduce us, Sherlock?
Watson, meet my brother Mycroft, the Queen's best boy. This is a grim augury indeed, for wherever Mycroft travels, tedium surely follows.
In contrast, of course, to Sherlock, a man whose obsessive pursuit of the trivial tears through the most carefully laid plans like a hurricane. Do you have any idea what you have disrupted?
Your ego is inflated as much as your waistband. What word comes to mind?
You work for the government?
International trade is a delicate beast. Your antics in Edelweiss have jeopardized one of the Crown's richest relationships.
Oh dear. As rich as all the butter you've been slathering on your bread?
We need your help.
What?
There is evil afoot. Strangeness and savagery like I have never seen. Something otherworldly festering in the dark beyond our reach. We have seen things that defy explanation. Mystic forces, magic. You must help us.
It's true.
The British government does not invest its resources in the insane or intoxicated. Pull yourself together.
I know men like you. Men like you grease palms, whisper in ears, start wars, and you send men like me to die in them. You and the rest of your corpulent cronies.
Ha! Corpulent! That was it.
Interesting, Sherlock. That as you again drift away from sanity, you find yourself another John.
All right, so the choice is made.
I beg your pardon?
There is only us. We cannot run from this problem. I shall take the book and Davy's cryptic message to Barnes. See what he makes of it.
As you were, Watson. Do what you must. Family, Watson. I let go of the best part in Cordona. Now I am left with the worst in Mycroft. You held your own against Mycroft. He makes for a formidable foe. A daunting brother. Go on without me, Watson. I need a rest. And a smoke or two. Go on without me, Watson. I need a rest. A smoke or two.
Another sinking near Scotland. By the Strand for all the details. Cool. Thank you, sir. Just back from a trip, Doctor. You look exhausted. You had a visitor earlier. He seemed angry. This weather is so bad. Do you think a storm is coming? I better concentrate on selling my papers, or the rain will turn them into paste. I better concentrate on...
Killing Tempest article. Storm of the Century. Tempest, which may already call the Storm of the Century, has been raging west of Lochaber's coastline over the past fortnight. Officials are alarmed by signs of storm's intensification. The storm has taken a toll on shipping and seamen's life, with 34 ships reported lost. Even as this article goes to press, hundreds of lives hang in the balance. But seamen struggling against the elements. Sadly, the Royal Navy rescue is forbidden to launch any search party due to the dangerous conditions. Her Majesty the Queen Victoria held an emergency meeting with her ministers about the crisis along our coast, and it was learned that similar phenomena of lower importance are occurring around the world. In other news, a French thief with the initials AL is towing with Scotland Yard.
selling my papers, or the rain will turn them into paste. Get the Strand, get the true facts.
For some reason, it makes my skin crawl. Take care of your master. It has been a while, Barnes.
Dr. Watson. Indeed it has, and good to see you as always. How can I help?
Someone is full of pep.
Oh, yes. Mr. Holmes, he was quite the inspiration. Last time you were in town, he offered me some stirring advice, which I've since acted upon.
Holmes is nothing if not provocative.
Indeed, the thorny truth is often hard to hear, but it did the job, and now my heart is full.
I'm glad to hear it.
Much obliged, Doctor.
Barnes, does Stevenson's guiding light mean anything to you?
Well, my mind first goes to Robert Louis Stevenson, an up-and-coming author. I've been following his work in the periodicals. Interesting man. I take it his literary pursuits are somewhat of a deviation from the family business.
What makes you say that?
He wrote a poem. Let me see if I have it still. Yes. Say not of me that weakly I declined the labours of my sires, and fled the sea, the towers we founded, and the lamps we lit.
The labours of his sires. I wonder what they do.
I have a book on great British families. If the Stevensons have achieved anything of note, they will be in there. Please, feel free to take a look. It should be on the shelves to the right.
Much obliged. Last time we met, you mentioned your knack for translating occult texts. I was wondering if you could help me with this book.
Certainly, Goodness. Where on earth did you procure this grimoire?
That's a long story. What do you make of it?
It seems to describe pagan rituals, ancient deities. Wow, what a marvel. I can try and translate it for you.
Just the pages bearing that symbol. This section, really.
Entity of ocean or time. Oh my. Oh, already on it, as you can tell.
If you can have it done at your earliest convenience, that would be lovely.
Greatest British Families. This volume gathers facts, stories and gossip about the members and successes of great British families. It is a somewhat chauvinistic account of Britain's finest. Stevenson family. The book Greatest British Families briefly mentions the Stevensons, famed for their lighthouses across all of Scotland. Funnily enough, the first Stevenson in the lineage shares the same given name as the latest, the author Robert Louis Stevenson. Ever since the Bell Rock Lighthouse erection in 1810, the Stevensons have left their mark around Scotland via civil engineering feats in maritime industry. Whether the lighthouses were built by Robert Stevenson or his sons Alan, David and Thomas, sailors roaming Scotland's coastline have the dynasty to thank for guiding them to prosperity and safety. cryptic message to Asmat. The message mentions a place where the cult plans to gather, a lighthouse built by the Stevenson, west of Lochaber, Scotland.
Say, do you possess coastal maps of Scotland?
Indeed. Have you figured out what the Stevensons are known for?
Feats of lighthouse engineering. You have my thanks for the book.
My pleasure, Doctor. Do you need any particular part of the coast?
Loch Harbour, west coast.
Right then, I'll unroll it on the desk. All yours. In the meantime, I will attend to my translation.
Much appreciated.
A moment, please. Spellbinding pages. Nearly done, Doctor. Have you found the book you're after? The dreamer's hidden daughter awakens in the flood. That sounds ominous. Don't worry, I'll get to the bottom of it. You won't leave without the answers to your questions. Don't worry, I'll get to the bottom of it. You won't leave without the answers to your questions.
Skerryvure Lighthouse. Located on the remote island of the same name, Skerryvure Lighthouse lies southwest of the inhabited island of Tiree. Designed and built in 1844 by Alan Stevenson, the tower is a testament to the determination of the Empire's workers and engineers to make life safer for seamen. The lighthouse has seen 6 years of construction, with numerous men risking their life to build this granite beacon of safety atop the dangerous rock. The Ruba Nangal Lighthouse. The Ruba Nangal means stranger's point in Scottish Gaelic. This simple yet elegant brick tower of light, built in 1857 by David and Thomas Stevenson, is not even the only one the dynasty erected that year. It is 62 feet tall and bears a luminous range of 10 nautical miles, lighting the way for ships roaming the south of Mull. Ardnamurchan Lighthouse. Designed and built in 1849 by Alan Stevenson, the lighthouse lies at the western end of the Ardnamurchan Peninsula in Lochaber. It's an architectural and decoratively depicts Egyptian influences, making it unique among Scottish lighthouses. Made of granite and bearing a striking black lantern, the tower soars to 180 feet above the rocks. Barrehead Lighthouse. Located on the outer Hebrides island of Barrehead, the lighthouse illuminates the southern entrance to the Minch. The tower, designed by Robert Stevenson and built by James Smith of Inverness in 1833, is made of stone. It is deemed the United Kingdom's highest lighthouse, standing at 682 feet above sea level.
Doctor, look what I just found.
Barnes, have you finished with the book?
Yes. I've written out a translation of the section you wanted. It, puts the grim in grimoire.
I thought as much.
Long story short, it details macabre rituals, death, leviathans, and the apocalypse. See for yourself. I must ask you to leave the book with me so I can read more of it. It's compelling. Very compelling.
You have been of great help, so yes.
Excellent. I could barely put it down. Farewell. A fascinating book. Thank you for the opportunity, Doctor. Please let Mr. Holmes know that he may always read the latest strand at no cost. I feel a bit strange, Doctor. Like I have a fever. I'm sure I'll be fine. Now, I don't know where you obtain this grimoire, but I'd love to buy it. I'm sure I'll be fine. Now, I don't know where you obtain this grimoire, but I'd love to buy it. I'm sure I'll be fine. Now, I don't know where you obtain this grimoire, but I'd love to buy it.
Mycroft, here to buy a book on fraternal dysfunction?
The Holmes family is beyond counselling, Doctor.
True, more deserving of scientific study. What do you want?
I came to warn you. Perhaps you have a moment to...
Sorry, I reserve Tuesday afternoons for time with friends.
I'm worried about Sherlock. He's not well. You should know that he has had episodes in the past. Detachment from reality. He will need your support.
Such gall. First you crush him under your boot heel, now you ask me to pick up the pieces.
Your emotions are impeding your rationality. He needs to be distracted, diverted into something less harmful.
Surely you jest. Only one thing shall truly bring him peace of mind, and that is solving his case.
The last case he pursued so doggedly was Cordona. He came home a wreck, and this time I fear he may not return at all.
You are not his father, Mycroft. Not anymore. He is a grown man, a brilliant man. I know you care for him. I just wish you also respected him.
The Crown cannot help you. But I can. Give him this.
What is it?
A confidential note tied to his case. He may see value in it. Just do not tell him it came from me. Oh, speaking of the Crown, perhaps you can help us with another matter? It requires some local knowledge.
I'm all ears.
For your eyes only. Here is a folder with all the details.
So the Lone Watcher is also a side case, which you get from learning about Guest Lighthouse. So we're gonna check this one out also. Okay, let's show the... check this one first. The cult's plan. Archibald Rochester is alive and leading a cult. He aims to conduct a monstrous ritual at other Nomershan Lighthouse, by implication, the sacrifice of all the abductees of diverse ethnicities.
Another sinking near Scotland. Buy the strand for the details. I better concentrate on selling my papers, or the rain will turn them into paste.
The oldest letter was delivered 3 days ago. The milk has soured. Well, I'm not getting in here. Well, I'm not getting in here. A wasp's nest. They might attack if someone draws too close or are otherwise provoked. Much like London itself. Near perfect camouflage. It makes me wonder if Mycroft also spies on our suite in Baker Street. A map of possible routes taken from the embassy. I thought only Sherlock was capable of this kind of deduction. The spyglass was positioned to watch the windows of the embassy across the road.
Unfinished note written by Hawk. 5:45. Carriage with a hooded visitor arrived. 7:25. Carriage left, visitor stayed inside. 9:10. Boxes with gold from the Japanese Imperial Mint arrived. 9:36. Boxes are still being unloaded. 10:10. The last box was moved inside the embassy. 11:32. Arrival of the Ottoman ambassador and vice consul. 12:44. The men are having a meeting on the second floor. There are maps of.
A capital M signed by someone else's hand. Only his right arm was functional. His left arm was paralyzed in the war. Royal Berkshire Regiment. They had it tough in Afghanistan. His face and neck are swollen, and I can see wasp stings all over the skin. Unlike Holmes, I don't carry lockpicks.
I'm sure I'll be fine. Now, I don't know where you obtain this grimoire, but I'd love to buy it.
I'm sorry, I have bad news.
Please do not tell me Hawk is a turncoat.
Worse, I have found him dead in his wheelchair, out in the garden.
How did he die? Exactly.
He was stung repeatedly by wasps. His body succumbed to anaphylaxis.
And that is all you observed? Was there anything suspicious?
Well, there was one thing. In his notes I found a handwritten M, but it didn't match Hawke's other writing.
Listen carefully, Doctor. Do not investigate further, do not talk about this matter to anyone, and do not ask questions. Thank you. Now leave it alone.
So that was the case of the Lone Watcher. So basically the letter M was a reference to Moriarty, which we also found during the events in Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1 in Cordona. Now we're gonna return to Sherlock. What we have found.
Get the Strand, get the true facts.
Am I mad? This painting wasn't here last time, was it? Holmes, I have the translation. Barnes will keep researching. Holmes?
Watson?
Did you hear me? Barnes gave us a preliminary translation of the book. I think we have a lead. Sherlock, what is it?
I find myself burdened. It will come as no surprise that I tend towards obsession. Indeed, obsession oft grants me the insights that have become my stock in trade, my greatest asset. Yet I cannot deny this nature proves as much a hindrance as a boon. It has cost me friends, colleagues, brothers. And despite my obsession as I contend with the matter at hand, no closer to understanding than when we began, I must conclude that I am of no worth at all. Without an answer, what use is the question?
Sherlock, this is no time for despair. The book is real. Those men went mad.
John, I fear that I am as mad as the rest of them.
I bore witness to the same events that you did. I saw with my own eyes the inexplicable, the ghastly, and the unnatural. I can attest to their occurrence. So take heart, for it was as real as you or I, and thus we must persist. Lives hang in the balance. If you cannot see your worth, then trust in me, for I see it. And I know of no other man capable of putting this matter right.
Thank you, John. Would that I possessed even half your courage. Pray tell, where does our journey end?
Ardnamurchan, Scotland. I need a moment to put my affairs in order.
You raised my spirits, Watson. Take all the time you need.
I need a moment to put my affairs in order.
You raised my spirits, Watson. Take all the time you need.
So that is the end of chapter 7, and we also did the side quest alone. Watcher, which you will receive from Mycroft. I thank you all for watching, wish you all well, and see you in the next video.